How many horror anime have you watched? And how many of them were actually good? And let's talk about the plot and presentation here, not necessarily the horror element itself. In my first video I said that manga scares better than anime, and I still think so. But what if animated horror was spiced up with a bit of really interesting plot? Perfect Blue, Shiki, Berserk. These are great horror movies and series whose plot, despite a lot of horror, still stands on the podium, at least for me. And it's the same with Dusk Maiden of Amnesia, an anime that draws us into its world with a plot, action and mystery that we would like to discover together with the main character, and the moment we do so, we will feel a great deal of sadness. So let's start from the very beginning. Dusk Maiden of Amnesia is an anime that combines elements of horror, romance and mystery. The plot is centered around the ghost of a girl named Yuko Kaona, who is connected to the academy where she died many years ago. She has lost all of her memories related to life and death. She is invisible to the most people at school. The main character, Teichi, is able to see her and talk to her without the problems. As the series progresses, we discover more elements related to Yuko's past. We try to understand why she can't leave the world, and over time we discover what really happened. The problem is I don't know how to put it in a way that will avoid spoilers. When we get into Yuko's character, like her and are interested in her, the secret that is revealed will be incredibly painful for us. We strongly focus on the search for lost memories that help understand Yuko's identity. The relations between her and Teichi, the main character of the series, changes. Over time their bond becomes deeper, and the hero, in addition to curiosity about the spirit, begins to feel something more. I want to talk about three characters that are most interesting in the series, trying to avoid spoilers obviously. Let's start with the previously mentioned main character, Teichi. He's a young boy with very calm disposition. His empathy and sensitive to the problems of others distinguish him from other characters. He is very inquisitive, which makes him constantly seek the truth. Watching the anime, we see how his bonds with characters evolve, especially with Yuko. Their relationship is a center element of the plot. Teichi can talk to and see the girl's spirit, which brings them incredibly close. This causes their relationship to change from friendship to something more deep and romantic. His initial curiosity about the spirits turns into commitment when the boy begins to understand that Yuko needs his help. There is a lot of symbolism in the anime, and I think that his character, Teichi, or rather his relationship with the girl, shows how the past and the present can intervene. And also that in facing our past and memories we are able to find peace and solace. The second character that I would like to talk about is the ghost girl itself, Yuko. When we meet her, she seems incredibly happy and carefree. However, when we start to get to know her character, we are able to notice a deep hidden trauma that concerns her death. When it comes to the relationship with Teichi from Yuko's side, we see jealousy of the other girls when they appear in the main character environment. I think there is no need to delve into their relationship, which I described before. We can see hidden emotions and traumas in her, and there is a problem that I can understand, personally. Showing your true feelings related to things that happened years ago, it is not easy. It is much easier for us to show it into the darkest parts of our minds and never show it to anyone. But on the other hand, it is incredibly unhealthy, which is what the girl's character symbolizes. And the third and the last character that I would like to talk about is Kiri Kanawe. And yeah, I'm not talking about her. She is presented to us as a very serious and often skeptical person. She is disciplined and less carefree. Despite the fact that Kiri is very strict on the outside, she is very caring on the inside, which only comes out after some time. Of course, we cannot avoid the fact that she is related to Yuko. As her relative, Kiri feels obliged to uncover the truth about Yuko's death. And in addition to the main character, the girl is the only person that can see Yuko. The last thing I will say about her is that her realistic approach, and at the same time the fact that she sees Yuko's ghost, shows that the character is in deep conflict with herself. If I had to describe the series in one sentence, it would be a rich story with a deep analysis of human emotions and feelings. Facing the past in order to move forward, traumas, or our need to be understood is a huge part of the story, which shows how important it is to come to terms with our experiences in order to achieve inner peace. The series presents and explores many important life themes while creating an incredibly fascinating and emotionally engaging story. The symbolism that accompanies the characters, their changes, makes us reflect on our own experiences. There is one last thing I want to talk about, and it's the music. The soundtrack to the series is diverse, which means that every moment is emphasized by music that helps create the right mood for both romantic and dark scenes. And I promise you that you will fall in love with the music that accompanies us throughout the story. I watched this a long time ago. Returning to it after such a long time and wanting to talk about it, of course, I had to refresh my memory. And I noticed one thing, that despite the years that have passed since I last watched it, the thing that stuck in my mind was mostly the music. The journey I took with the anime for the second time made a huge impression on me. Watching it when I was younger, like much younger, I have the impression that I never paid such attention to certain moments that took place. It is nice to return to an older series, which now as an adult can be understood in a completely different way, despite the fact that the story is told exactly the same. And hey, if you are looking for unconventional romanticism with elements of horror, you have just found it. With a clear consciousness, I recommend watching the entire series. I promise you that you will not be disappointed. Thank you very much for staying with me until the very end. I hope you will also like today's topic. I would really like to make longer videos, but I do not have time for it and I would like to keep uploading once a week, and it's not always easy. If you think it was pleasant to watch, please leave a trace, a comment or a like, lets me know that I'm actually doing something cool. Thank you for your attention and see you soon.